Some of you may have been on our Torah class this morning. This actually at noon. We had a little bit of a Zoom bomb, but I was thinking, boy, coming on to do this meditation, can anyone Zoom bomb me here? But no, alas, there's no there's no Zoom bombing this because you can't really talk back to me. I guess you could write things in there, but imagine that anyone's going to be mean because we've all been doing this for 2 years together. And it certainly would go against everything that we talk about in this meditation. But in the class, one of the people in the class was talking about Truma, and she was saying, oh my gosh, it's just detail after detail of making the tabernacle. I mean, what am I going to get out of that? I mean, in many ways I agree, right? It's like, how can we turn the making of the tabernacle when we don't talk about it in terms of how we have, and we're making a space that welcomes divinity into your life and build me a sanctuary so I may dwell among them. After that line, it goes into just detail after detail after detail of how to make the tabernacle. I was thinking about this after she mentioned it, knowing that we had this session tonight, and it occurred to me that this is what I'm going to say is just so hard for people to do, for myself to do. Even when I'm thinking about it, I still find it hard to do. Hold on. Which is to really pay attention to every detail of something, right? Like you think about the care that went into every pole, every hook, every plank that they had to make. When they would build this, it was every single inch of that tabernacle was made with care and the concentration of detail. And I'm like, how many things could I claim that I look at like that? When I'm doing anything, am I paying that much attention to every single detail? I have this bell that I use, right? Every time we do meditation, have I studied this bell? Do I know about the indentations on the bottom of it or the rings around the side of it? Like, how much am I paying attention to that? How much detail am I paying attention to in what I'm doing? Or am I just ringing this bell and looking here or closing my eyes, and I never really think about what it feels like and what it looks like and how this feels in my hand and how cold it is or how warm it is. Or when I ring it, does it vibrate inside of my hand? And just paying attention to the kind of detail that this Torah portion has in it can be a reminder for us that are trying to live a mindful life. Are we paying attention? Are we thinking about those details? There's a wonderful exercise that John Kabat-Zinn introduces to people that are just starting out doing mindfulness and doing meditation. And he says, take a raisin. Look at the color of it and where it's discolored or where it's darker, where it's lighter. How long are the lines that are in the raisin? And then you put the raisin in your mouth and you take like a minute to chew this raisin, to taste every bit of it, to feel the texture of it. I mean, you're talking to someone who eats to live. So most of the time, right, I have the food and I'm just eating it so that I can be done with eating it instead of savoring every moment and every bite. Which I did have to do when I would go on the institution, IJS, what's the I?
Institute.
Yeah, Institute for Jewish Spirituality. When I would go there, that's what they would make you do. We'd have silent lunches and breakfasts, and they wanted us to have a mindful meal. So I found I didn't eat as much over the time, And I really tasted everything. Did I bring that with me into the world? I'm sad to say no. There are certain things that I do pay very close attention to, but I think most of the time, I don't know if I'm on autopilot, but I'm not necessarily thinking about exactly what's happening at this moment, except between 5:30 and 6 when we have this. And maybe that's part of this purpose for when we slow down and you start to, your mind takes you away, that your mind is slowing a little bit. That just reminded me, I'm sorry, but this whole thing is an 8-minute rant anyway. Last night we were talking about, in our Introduction to Judaism class, we were talking about Purim, and Purim is kind of letting off steam. So the original question that was asked of all the students was, what do you do to let off steam? What do you do when you're feel anxious or when anything happens? Some people said, I like to go and take a walk with my dog. Person said, I cook because that's like meditation to me. And I didn't say it, but I felt like saying, well, why not then meditate? Because meditation is meditation to you, but it strictly is meditation. And what they were all describing is that they needed to have a place that they could go that's kind of separate from everything that's going on, so they could slow down, so they could, get their mind in the right place. And all I'm thinking the whole time is, well, this is exactly what we do here. In this time together, it is that time to focus and perhaps even to think about those places where I'm not focusing, where I'm not paying attention, where I'm not thinking about the details. Now, one might argue that it's better to be, a big thinker than looking at all the little minute details, and that may be true. I don't see how it hurts to pay attention to whatever we're doing, right? I've talked about autopilot before, where you're just going through everything. Pay attention. Even what it feels like for your fingers to go onto keyboards as you're working on the computer, or what it feels like to the words that are forming if you're typing, or if you're reading your emails. What's your position? Are you comfortable? Are you not comfortable? Did a certain email make you feel a certain ways, or something that's going on inside of your body? All day, we've got this instrument that's our body that reacts to things, even if we don't feel like we're even emotionally reacting to it. Someone was telling me the other day about the idea of body trauma, and that our bodies actually remember times of the year, even if our minds don't. And you get to this one time of the year where something traumatic happened to you, and your body actually does keep that inside. And so part of what we're doing is like taking all that tension that could be in our body, or whatever's happening to our body from the outside, and we're trying to kind of slow it down a little bit. I noticed yesterday, as I began for some reason, my heart was beating kind of hard, and I'm like, wow, I really feel my heart in my chest. And after a minute or so, I noticed that it calmed, right? It wasn't beating as hard. My breath became a little longer, and I felt like I kind of sunk into this place that I hadn't been. I must have been kind of tensed up as we began. And so that's the kind of thing that we're trying to notice when it comes to the meditation. Our bodies are like the tabernacle. And you can think about every crevice, every nail, but you can also think about inside. What does it feel for my stomach to grow when I take my breath in, or for it to go back down when I breathe out? What is that sensation? Are there details of the sensations I'm feeling right now as I'm going through this meditation that I need to be aware of? And then as we go out into the world, to live mindfully is to just continue to notice and take in what's right in front of us, as opposed to what I have to be doing in 10 minutes. What's happening here, now. Last week talked about be there, be present. One of the ways to do that is to really concentrate on all of the details. One detail I didn't concentrate on as I went past my 5:40 mark that I like to end and begin our quiet time, but here we go. Just going to get into a comfortable yet strong position and close our eyes. Start to feel our breath. We take in our body and the sensations that are all around us. If you're not in a quiet room, you can take in even the sounds around you, because all of that enters into us. And we just sit naturally and allow everything to just be as it is for now. There's no need to solve anything. No need to complain about anything. No need to accomplish anything but sitting here. as you continue to breathe, imagine that for some of us, our thoughts may have taken us from our breath into our mind. I invite you with love and compassion for yourself. And just bring yourself back to your breath. Feel it coming in and going out. That life force. last couple of minutes together. As we prepare for Shabbat, we ask for two feelings. May I feel joy. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel whole. Not spread. Not in pieces. Not separate, but whole. May I feel whole. And may I feel joy. Shabbat is coming. I have everything I need. I'm lacking nothing. Joy. May I feel joy. And may I feel whole. You can say that out loud or to yourself or in a whisper. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. May I feel joy. May I feel whole. Just bring ourselves back to our breath for a moment. We're just allowing things to be just as they are for now. We breathe in the day. We breathe out our future. We breathe in the day. And we breathe out to what is next ahead. A new breath and a new moment for us to meet. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you were able to find some peace and stillness. May you feel joy, and may you feel whole. May you have a wonderful night, a fantastic Shabbat, and a great